Thank you. Good morning. I'm happy to be here. And I'm not going to talk much because there are people who have to talk more here. Now, today, I just want us to think about what we call technology. I think I just want to lay, some foundation, and then to give us some, something to go back with. That we are going to be thinking about and see how we can, move with this thing. My topic is thinking about technology, and as we all know that the use of technology, it has just changed the world that we are living in. Yesterday when I was preparing this thing, I just tried to look back, during coronavirus, during lockdown, everything went down. Businesses went down, economy, churches, everything was closed. But there was one thing that was connecting people together. There was one thing that was making people to buy, to sell, even, to connect, in things that we were not using physically. And that thing was the use of technology. It really make our world to change, to become a better place in so many ways. Now, when I was trying to prepare here, you are going to be surprised. Mr. Peter, I want you to come here, and then Mr. Mutanya. The meaning of the word technology, they say it comes from the word, from Greek. If you check here, it's translated by Titian here, and what? Logos.
Logos, okay.
Sometimes you think when you say, the word of God is Logos. Because it has revelation and all that. Now, when we think about technology also, in a way also, it gives us some revelation. That is the meaning. It's not me. It's the meaning of that. And then they say the word Titian here, it means what? Art, skills, and all that. You can just read it. Craft, meaning to design, to change, it sounds so nice. And then the meaning of logos here, we have people from church. It's just the word. Meaning in a way technology, it makes our mind, the design that we have in our thought to become the word, that we are living in. That's why it was possible during coronavirus that we can sit at home, but we can buy using technology. We can sit at home, but we can see follow the pastor. We can see pay our tithe. Even Dr. Matobe didn't say anything about tithe. Now, the need of technology, the need of computer-based technology for teaching. As we know that there are so many things that are coming up. There are many technology that are being out there to use. And one thing that we have been forcing, or as an institution, or worldwide, people are pushing on. It's that the use of computer-based technology in schools and, a classroom or institution of higher learning or any type of institution is to increase, or to prepare teachers to use technology in their institutional, the way they teach and the way they prepare what should I call it, practices, Now, why teachers? The teachers are the ones that are holding the key. We are holding the key. For our students to be useful in the future, we are the ones that have to unlock them, to make them to be useful in the future. That's why we are mostly emphasizing that if a teacher, he can integrate or make the use of technology, in the subject or in the course that is teaching, in a very good way, that teacher can be as an advisor. Why? Because he's going to give the student direction. Sometimes we can, if that our students, they know how to use technology, but they are lacking the skills that will guide them to use it properly in their teaching and learning. And us as teachers, we are the one that has to unlock that, you know, to give them that knowledge, to give them that capability, and to give them access in those things, you know, in the use of technology. And then one thing also I wanted us to look at those things. You know, sometimes some of us, when they say let's use e-learning, let's use WiseUp, let's use this, we think that this is a sort of, you know, people are pushing us. I can do better even doing it without technology. But I'm telling you something, you know, the more we are growing, the more the world is advancing, the only thing that is going to stand strong is the use of technology in all spheres of our lives. When we are talking about fourth industrial revolution, I don't know if you are reading in the literature also, we are also talking about teaching 4.0. I don't know if you've been reading about that. You know, people in the industry are talking about industrial revolution, which is 4.0. And then people in education, they are also starting moving from, you know, education 4.0. Meaning, people are trying to balance all those things together. So that we have to teach in a way where our students, when they finish or when they graduate, they can also be able to stand in the fourth industrial revolution. And all those things start in the classroom by the use of technology. You know, making, you know, using it in a good way to support what you are doing in the classroom. You know, trying to make use of technology to support, you know, your learning and all those things. If you can see, you know, intellectual partner, technology is your intellectual partner because it gives you a room to reflect also, you know, to talk, you know, to create that dialogue. And it also provides collaboration. And it gives you so many opportunities that your student and yourself, you can just interact with and to be useful. And also, coming to this, I was thinking that most of the time we have some things that we think of, you know, which are, I call it just mistakes that we must avoid. The technology will never replace the teacher. It will never replace the teacher. Even the industry, for fourth industrial revolution to stand strong, we need people with good skills. We are not going to leave robots to direct our lives. We are going to design robots to do what we want them to do. You know, the same way also with the use of technology. You know, it will never replace a teacher. But one thing that we have to do, you as a teacher, you have to embrace this technology so that you can be able to make an impact in your teaching and in the life of the student. I like this quote here. It says what? The technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of a great teacher can transformational. I'm not talking Spanish here. The committee. Yeah, you know. Now, technology will never replace a great teacher. It will never replace a great teacher. But you, with the technology, you can do things, and you can also empower your students to be greater. Now, I was reading and I checked on the 21st century literacy. Now, as I was looking at them in the literature, you can see here, information literacy is the one that is mostly in demand in 21st century. Now, when I was trying to find out what is information literacy, the definition is here. It's to know how to find, evaluate, and use information in all its forms. And if you check this definition here, it all starts with the use of what? Technology. Meaning for our students, or for us as teachers, to tap into this, you know, information literacy in 21st century, we must make use of technology in our teaching. And there is also something here that you have to, I don't know if you know these things, the 4 C's in education. These are basically what we call 21st century type of skills. These 4 C's here in education, if you say, you check this photo here, they say it's not just 21st century, but it's needed skills for us and for our students. And these are the type of skill that was approved, by experts in education, business people, the people in the industry, and politicians also, the people who decide for our lives. They say that we need these skills. And these skills is made up of communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. And all these things can only be possible when we are making use of technology. Now, the truth about this is, if we don't make use of technology, or if us as teachers, we are keeping on teaching the same way that we were teaching yesterday, it's the truth that we are trying to rob our students. They are what? They are tomorrow, which is their future. Now, this one, it speaks to professors, to lecturers, to doctors, the people who say, I'm seated, I've been teaching this thing for 20 years. You can't tell me, you may teach this thing for 20 years, we know that you know it. But if you are not making use of technology in your teaching and learning, that is the truth, that you are stealing from our students. Now, the impact of technology, it makes our students to become supermen. I was talking, yesterday we had some meetings, the colleague in the department. One of the colleagues was saying, there were students who were not talking in the classes. But since they started, teaching online, and the voice of those students, it's become big, online. Now, meaning, technology can somewhere, somehow, give our student the win. It's developed attitude toward learning, because the student get that zeal. And it's also increased skill of the students. I tell you now, I was even saying it yesterday, we may say this lockdown is bad, the use of technology is just, surprise us, but the way we are using technology now, we are also becoming experts ourselves in this thing. And the students also, they're becoming experts. These are the things that we have to keep in mind. And it's also increased work skills for the workforces, which is the 4th industrial revolution. Now, the big question here is, are you making very good use of technology in your teaching? This is a question that it's open to all of us. Now we should start thinking of that from now on, because this is one thing that will change our practice. And as a teacher also, these are the things that you have to keep in mind. I know we're talking to the teachers, even some people are not the teachers, but you have to understand what technology you are using, which is very important. You have to understand that. And you have to determine how this technology will better serve you, your goal, and your objectives, because it's mostly about you delivering what? Your teaching and learning content. Okay? And also, you have to think about how that technology can also enhance your teaching practice or your lesson. Those are some of the things that I just put there so that we can also reflect on that. As I say, I'm not talking too much today because there are people who are sitting there, their heart is burning to talk. But I just give you as this, as food for your thought. Now to go back, think about it, and also start to planning your next movement. Thank you so much.